much. Let's check the overall markets. And as we do that, we'd like to bring in Labor Secretary Marty Walsh. Good morning to you, Mr. Secretary. The economy added 850,000 jobs in June. That's 150,000 more than expected. But there are still a lot of job openings to fill, right?
Yeah, there's still job openings to fill, but this report was a good, solid report. We're excited. It shows that President Biden's economic plan is working, and we certainly still have ways to go as we move forward here. But I think that this is unprecedented times. This is an unprecedented kind of recovery from COVID-19. But all the indications are going in the right direction.
You know, Mr. Secretary, you have maintained that there is no connection between the extended benefits, that extra $300 a week, and people essentially being paid, as some say, to stay home. But there is a belief that after Labor Day, when those benefits come to an end, that we'll see an even bigger report as more people come into the workforce. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that we will see, hopefully we will see more people coming into the workforce and getting jobs after Labor Day. A lot of that is due to the fact that more and more people are getting vaccinated every day. I was in Indiana the other day at a facility, a vaccination facility, and seeing lines of people getting vaccinated. And I think that if you look at the job growth, you look at the number of people vaccinated, there's a correlation there as well.
But why is it we've spoken to job owners, especially those in the service industry, who continue to complain of not being able to find workers? They advertise, no one shows up. They start offering bonuses, still no one shows up. Why is that happening?
Well, I think two things. One is the largest gain that we've seen in the last couple of months here has been in hospitality, leisure, and restaurants. We've seen large gains there. I still think that, you know, we're still living within a pandemic. We're starting to see every month those numbers of people contracting the virus going down. We're seeing the number of deaths go down in the last, I'd say, last month and a half. Those are all good signs and great signs, quite honestly, for our country. And I think as we start to see those numbers go down, we're starting to see those job gains grow even more. We're seeing industry opening up. The other day here in Washington, for the first time, I saw tour buses going around with people on them. I saw the vendors on the streets back. So we're starting to see these cities where we have tourism, a lot of tourism generally. We're starting to see them open up. We're starting to see a lot of these different smaller industries coming back. And I think that we hadn't seen that in the month of April, May, in June a little bit, but towards the end of June and now in early July, we're seeing this happening more and more.
As we move forward, are you expecting to see even greater jobs created, especially, as I say, as we get through the summer? The economy seems to be poised to take off.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more job gain and growth here in our country, which is a good thing. I mean, there's still many Americans that were working before the pandemic that are still not back to work, and you know, we're not going to rest till we get all people back to work.
Very good. Is there anything else that stuck out in the report to you? The wage growth was perhaps a little softer than expected, 0.3%, especially when employers are having to start to up their pay, certainly for entry-level jobs.
Well, definitely, we've seen the positive side is we've seen that wage growth go up, which is good for the American worker. One area that I still have concerns around are the communities of color. The black unemployment rate, 9.2%. The Latino unemployment rate, 7.4%. So we need to really focus in the African American community and the Latino community to make sure that the growth and the comeback is equitable across the board.
I also should note that the labor participation rate, 61.6%, was exactly the same as it was in May. Was that disappointing?
Again, I think that I'm looking at this report as a positive report. Certainly, there are aspects that we could like to see higher numbers in different places, but overall, it was a good, solid report and moving in the right direction.
All right, that's a good place to leave it. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh, thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.